Where shall we travel to today? This is the 1961 Traveller's Digest produced by British Overseas Airways Corporation. And it's an absolute treasure. Today, I'm going to take you to Argentina. Let's see what we can learn. Argentina, second largest country in South America, of which it covers almost the entire lower half. The Argentine Republic is 20 times the size of the United Kingdom, yet has only half its population. More than 1 million square miles in area and shaped roughly like an arrowhead, it stretches from the steamy jungles of the Tropic of Capricorn to the frozen wilderness of Antarctica, with the Andes rising along one edge and the Atlantic lapping the other. The River Plate region of Argentina was discovered in 1515 by Juan Diaz de Solis. In 1527, the English-born Sebastian Cabot sailed up the river Parana and established a fortified settlement where the port of Rosario, the second city of the Republic, stands today. Spanish adventurers who followed him came in search of silver, hence Argentina and plata, Spanish for silver, but they found none. However, they pressed on upriver and laid the foundations of a huge and prosperous colony, which was to remain part of the Spanish Empire for 300 years. Many traces of Spanish influence can be seen in the churches, colonial houses and buildings of such cities such as Santiago del Estero, Tucumán, Córdoba, the oldest university town, San Juan and Mendoza. So varied is the geography of Argentina's 23 provinces that each is almost a country in itself. Formosa and Chaco, with their lush forests, the quebracho trees, here yield almost all the world's tannin. Tucumán, with its acres of sugarcane and sweet-smelling orange groves. Santiago del Estero, its vast plain sparkling white with salt. Mendoza, a wine-growing region where the rocky foothills are tinted by the sun into all the brilliant colours of the rainbow. The Lake District around Neuquén and Rio Negro, whose parklands, lakes, forests and rivers are a favourite holiday centre. Córdoba, with its magnificent mountain scenery, waterfalls and modern dams, and far in the cold south the sheep farming area of Patagonia and Tierra del Fuego, with their gold-bearing rivers and snow-capped mountains dropping steeply into the sea. Most important of all are the central plains, the Pampas, shimmering grassland as valuable as any silver, which are the heart and lifeblood of the Argentine. Here, 45 million head of cattle, mostly from British stock, are reared on ranches, estancias, 4 times the size of most English counties. Argentina is the world's largest exporter of canned and chilled meat, 3rd largest of wheat. Other important exports are wool, hides, vegetable oils, and rice. There are important oil fields at Comodoro Rivadavia, Mendoza, and Salta. Light industry is spreading throughout the country. Heavy industry is restricted because much of the country's mineral wealth has yet to be developed. 50% of the population live in the plains, centering around Buenos Aires, the capital, known amongst devotees as B.A. Although Argentina is essentially an agricultural country, there is nothing bucolic about B.A., one of the most sophisticated cities in the world, where life bursts, fizzes and sparkles 24 hours a day. By air it is 22¼ hours from London, 18 from New York. Before landing. Coming into land at Buenos Aires, you will fly across the table-flat Pampas, then over the muddy water of the 215-mile-wide Rio de la Plata, which is actually not a river at all, but an estuary formed by the joining of the rivers Parana and Uruguay. Because of the flatness of the countryside, the landscapes of the city, the skyscrapers of the city stand out in a bold, geometric pattern against the horizon. On landing, Ezeiza, named after a prominent citizen who developed the district, is one of the newest and most striking international airports in Latin America. It has spacious observation terraces and its own swimming pool. Customs thorough but courteous. The 28-mile drive into the city takes about an hour. The people. Population 20.75 million. Most Argentinians are of Spanish or Italian descent. Largest foreign-born community is Italian. In Patagonia, there are considerable numbers of settlers with British, mainly Scottish and Welsh, origins. Negroes are almost non-existent, and there are few, if any, survivors of the Indians who once lived here. Traditional splendor is supplied by the universally known gauchos, who cut a dash with their skillful horsemanship and colorful clothes. A wide-brimmed sombrero, manta, poncho, tight breeches, and spur-bedecked boots, see Brazil and Chile, but they are rarely seen away from the pampas. Though most people get their living from agriculture, 60% live in the towns. Argentina is a federal republic, USA style in principle, though not entirely in practice, with a stormy political history. Legal code is a modified form of the old Spanish system. Spanish is the main language, and a great many people have some knowledge of English. Social pattern is the same as Europe, with a high standard of refinement in Buenos Aires. Education is compulsory up to the age of 13. Most foreign communities have their own schools. With their own brand of Latin temperament, Argentinians are nonchalant, cheerful, impulsive, and very hospitable. The men have an unerring eye for a pretty woman, and a stare should be taken as a compliment, not an affront. Climate and clothing. Summer in Argentina corresponds to winter in Europe, and vice versa. Climate and vegetation vary greatly from the northern Chaco, subtropical forests home of the toucan, through the Mesopotamia river country and the widely irrigated foothills of the Andes, to the cold, scrubby sheeplands of Patagonia and the dense forests of Tierra del Fuego. The most important region is that of the Pampas, stretching towards Buenos Aires and the sea. Average temperatures are 74 Fahrenheit in January and 50 Fahrenheit in July, with rainfall evenly spread throughout the year. Occasionally, the pampero, a powerful wind, blows across the plains. On the almost treeless pampas live a fascinating variety of birds and animals which are as quaint and endearing as their names. Oven birds who build their strange nests on posts or anything else that happens to protrude from the flatness. Burrowing owls, scissor-tails, screamers, hairy armadillos, nyandu, small ostriches, and many others. In spring and summer, the parks of Buenos Aires are brilliant and sweet-smelling with blossom, pinky red saibo, the national flower, and many others. An intriguing tree to be seen around B.A. is the palo borracho, the drunken stick, a native of the Chaco which has found its way south. The atmosphere is inclined to be humid in the summer, but not uncomfortably so. Sunrise and sunset are particularly beautiful here. In Buenos Aires, both men and women are very fashion conscious. Dress is formal and correct. Such digressions as shirt sleeves, shorts, and slacks are frowned upon, though disapproval is now less stringent. If you intend to go to a gala at the Opera House, bring evening dress. There are first-class hairdressers, barbers, and beauty parlors. A haircut costs 30 to 50 Argentine pesos. A shampoo and set, 150 to 350. Repair services are excellent. Where to stay? Hotels in Buenos Aires are among the finest in South America. Here are some examples, with prices for a double room per day. European plan, not including service charge, from 18% to 24%. The Plaza, 830 to 1,100 pesos. Alvear Palace, 800. City, California, Claridge, 900. Crillon, 600. Continental, 800. There are also some pleasant apartment houses, such as the 30-story 32-story Caverna building, and plenty of good boarding houses which are advertised in the Buenos Aires Herald. At Mar del Plata, provincial, 375 to 455 pesos. At Bariloche in the Lake District, the Lau Lau Hotel, 830 pesos to 950. Buenos Aires is very noisy at night, so don't open your windows too wide. Food and drink. In this great cattle country, beef, of course, is the staple food, and Buenos Aires is a steak eater's paradise. Try asado, a thick cut of beef barbecued the native way, and empanada, meat pie, rather like a Cornish pasty. Food other than simple steak is rich and starchy, but Argentinians eat in a leisurely fashion, so you're not likely to suffer ill effects. Breakfast is usually eaten early, dinner late. Butter and cheese are good, bread rather pallid. Local beer and wines are reasonably tempting. Traditional beverage and an acquired taste is mate, herb tea, sipped through a silver tube. Tap water is safe. There are many excellent restaurants in Buenos Aires with food as good, though decor not as chic, as in European and American cities. Here are a few to choose from. La Cabana, Avenida Entre Rio, wonderful steaks. El Cebal, Avenida Las Heras, La Huella, Sarmiento, delicious country food. The London Grill and Oyster Bar, Reconquista 455, chops and oysters à l'anglaise. Along the fascinating B.O.A.C waterfront, there are such old salt eating places as El Pescadito, Spada Vecchia, and La Goleta, a schooner converted into a restaurant. On summer evenings, it is worth making your way out to an open-air restaurant in the suburbs. Tea houses, confiteria, are a pleasant social feature of Buenos Aires. There are also French-style pavement cafes. For a waiter, call mozo, and he will come in his own sweet time. In the parks, you will find open-air stands where sausages, sweetbreads, kidneys, and steak sizzle on the spit. There are no licensing restrictions. Sport and entertainment. Argentina offers plenty of choice both in and out of doors. Outstanding open-air features of this country are the beautiful municipal parks, the most striking of all being Palermo Park, Buenos Aires, with its rose-full gardens, zoo, public golf course, restaurant and nearby polo fields, racecourse and cycle track. In most towns you can become a temporary member of flying, riding, golf, swimming, yachting, tennis and rowing clubs. There is excellent fishing inland. Nearest to B.A. is 36 hours by train, 5 by air. Favourite holiday places are the seaside resort of Mar del Plata, about 250 miles southeast of Buenos Aires, with its warm sandy beaches, spacious parks and huge casino, and the Lake District shared with Chile and known as Argentina's Switzerland because there is skiing here in winter. The national game is soccer. Motor racing, polo, Argentine polo ponies are the finest in the world, horse racing and boxing come next in popularity. Nightlife in Buenos Aires offers every refinement, which no doubt is why this sleepless city is called the Paris of America. There is a galaxy of nightclubs, offering everything from soft lights and sweet music to boisterous extravagance the South American way. Since they are liable to spring up and close down overnight, we won't risk mentioning any names. There is no casino in Buenos Aires. The best cinemas, most of them are air-conditioned, are around Avenida Corrientes and Calle Laval. They show mostly American films, with some British, French, Russian and Italian. Last House usually starts around 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Seats cost around 40 pesos. Argentinians are very keen on the legitimate theatre, and the standard of acting is very high. But there's not much point in going to a play unless you have a smattering of Spanish. Occasionally, visiting companies come from Europe and the States. Most theatres don't start their evening performances until 10 p.m. Music and opera in Buenos Aires are on a level with London and New York. For music lovers, a visit to Teatro Colón, claimed to be the biggest and best equipped opera house in the world, should not be missed. From May to September, operas here are usually French and Italian. In October, German. There are 18 spectacular gala evenings during the season, for which you will need to book well in advance. During the summer, open-air symphony concerts, opera and ballet are performed in the park. For a taste of Argentine folk music, dancing and barbecue, asado, try and visit an estancia or take a trip to Pinar Azul, only 30 miles from the capital. Buenos Aires has over 24 museums covering almost every subject under the sun, from fine arts to philately. Most of them are open every day except Monday. There are some 20 radio stations operating in B.A. alone, all commercial except the more highbrow LRA state radio program, and 3 TV channels. English language newspaper is the daily Buenos Aires Herald. Magazines worth buying are the Argentine Magazine and Review of the River Plate, a business publication. There are excellent English and American bookshops and good libraries from which visitors can borrow books. Getting about. Internal air services from Buenos Aires are based at the domestic airport within the city, near Palermo Park. Flight to Lake District takes about 5 hours, to Mar del Plata 1 hour. Though more and more people here are buying light aircraft for their personal use, this is one South American country where rail travel still takes pride of place over flying. The railways, started on the British pattern in 1857, run frequent and fast services, but they are not up to continental and American standards of comfort and efficiency. To Mar del Plata takes 5 to 6 hours, to Lake District 36 hours. There are electric trains to the suburbs and a city underground railway system which should be avoided during rush hours. State-run river services operate to Uruguay and Paraguay and to up-country ports. If you have time, the 6-day boat journey from Buenos Aires up to the Iguazu Falls on the Brazil and Paraguay borders will bring you a memorable look at Argentina's lavish backwoods scenery. Roads throughout the country, whether urban or rural, can only be called fair, but they are gradually being improved. You can hire a chauffeur-driven car, 2,000 pesos a day, or a self-drive car, 750 a day, plus 2 pesos 50 per kilometre. Drive on the right. Long-distance bus services are good. There are not enough local buses in Buenos Aires to cope with the demand, so they are usually overflowing with humanity. Taxis, distinguished by bright red number plates, are also in short supply, and though the colectivos, communal taxis, look invitingly bright and cheerful, it is best to refrain from using them. Taxis charge 5 pesos, plus 5 pesos a kilometre. Charges do not go up at night. Shopping. Buenos Aires is one of the busiest and most attractive shopping centres in the world. Its spacious stores and Parisian-style boutiques, stretching down wide avenues and elegant arcades or gallerias, are stocked with good things. Most fashionable streets are the Calle Florida, which is out of bounds to traffic during the day. Here you will find the distinguished British-owned Harrods and Gath and Chavez, and the impressive new Avenida Santa Fe. Best buys are leather goods, especially alligator, and sportswear. Argentine dressmakers, tailors, and shoemakers are first class and not too expensive. Photographic materials are in good supply everywhere. Processing for black and white, skillful but rather slow, 3 days to a week, and expensive. For colour processing, it is best to wait until you get home. Shopping hours are usually from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. British and American cigarettes are hard to find, so bring in as many as you are allowed. Local cigarettes and tobacco are not too good. Some basic facts and figures about Argentina. Money. There are 100 centavos to 1 Argentine peso. Notes are in denominations of 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, and 1,000 pesos. Coins are in 5, 10, 20, 50 centavos, and 1 peso. Banks open from 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Holidays, 1st and 6th of January. Last Monday and Tuesday before Lent, which is Carnival time. Holy Thursday and Good Friday. 1st and 25th of May. 20th of June, 9th of July, 15th and 17th of August, 12th of October, 1st of November, 8th, 25th, and 31st of December. Police wear navy blue uniform and cap with sky blue shirt and tie. You can try asking them for directions, but few of them speak English. For public telephones, look for small blue Telefono Público sign outside shops, restaurants, etc. Send cables from hotels, cable offices, post offices, or by phone. Buy stamps at hotels, post offices. Airmail is 10 pesos 70 cents minimum for letters to Europe. 9 pesos for postcards. Takes about a week. Letterboxes are red. Medical services, excellent. There are many English-speaking doctors. They charge 250 to 400 pesos a visit. British Hospital in Buenos Aires is at Pedregal 74. The electric current is 220 volts AC. Further information from Argentine embassies. Suggested reading, The Drunken Forest by Gerald Durrell. And that is our reading about visiting Argentina by B.O.A.C. in 1961.